It would therefore be remiss of me if I did not mention the apparent recent decision by the government of the United States to include all ECOWAS countries in its visa restrictions. I believe Togo was on an earlier list. This would be most unfortunate if it comes to pass, because we're a region of opportunities ready to do deals. We possess critical minerals and even rare earths such as samarium from the monazite found in my home state of Bauchi, for instance. We would like to do deals with the United States, but visa restrictions are non-tariff barriers to deal.
Recently, Nigeria did something most people didn't see coming. They sent a clear warning to former US President Donald Trump: if you put visa restrictions on us, you risk losing access to our minerals. Yes, you heard that right, a direct message to one of the world's most powerful political figures. Now you might be wondering, where is all this coming from? Well, Trump is reportedly planning to expand his controversial travel ban to include up to 36 more countries, and most of them are in Africa. Nigeria, Ghana, Senegal, Sierra Leone, countries with deep historical and economic ties to the US. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that button and tap the bell. The reason Trump gives? National security. But let's be honest, that excuse has been used too many times, and people are seeing right through it now. To many Africans, this feels less like a safety move and more like discrimination dressed up in politics. But here's where it gets interesting. Nigeria didn't stay quiet. They didn't just send a boring diplomatic letter. They showed leadership. At an ECOWAS ministerial meeting, Nigeria's Foreign Minister, Yusuf Tuggar, said it clearly: putting visa bans on West African countries is like creating invisible barriers to trade. These bans don't just stop people, they stop deals, partnerships, and opportunities. And most importantly, they disrespect nations that bring real value to the global economy. Think about it. Africa, especially West Africa, is sitting on some of the world's most valuable resources. Lithium, cobalt, oil, rare earth minerals, these are the things that power smartphones, electric cars, wind turbines, even military tech. Without these, the modern world simply doesn't run. Nigeria is saying, if you want our minerals, you better respect our people. You can't block our students, engineers, and business people from entering your country while asking for our resources at the same time. It doesn't work like that anymore. And they're absolutely right. Because guess what? Africa has options. China is already investing heavily in mining across the continent. Russia is making deals. And the BRICS alliance, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, they're creating their own systems, their own rules. If the West pushes Africa away, others are ready to step in. But this moment isn't just about Nigeria or even ECOWAS. It's about Africa realizing its power. For decades, we've been treated like a raw material warehouse: dig up the gold, ship out the oil, export the lithium, and then import everything back at 10 times the price. That era needs to end. This is the time for a new playbook. Africa doesn't have to accept unfair trade deals. We can demand partnerships that benefit our people. We can say no to contracts that give us 5% while foreign companies walk away with millions. We can build factories, create jobs, and keep the value right here at home. And most importantly, we must stand together. Imagine if it wasn't just Nigeria saying this. Imagine if the entire African Union said, ban one of us, and you ban all of us. Disrespect one of us, and none of us will trade with you. That's the power of unity. That's how we stop being ignored. But there's one challenge. While Nigeria is taking a strong stand, other countries are still making quiet deals. In fact, the president of the Democratic Republic of Congo reportedly reached out to Trump recently, asking for support in exchange for access to minerals. And that's the problem. When we act alone, we're weak. When we're united, we're unstoppable. This is the time to choose. Will Africa keep playing defense, or will we finally play from a position of power? Because we do have power. Real, tangible power. It's in our land. It's in our people. And it's in our ability to say no more. No more one-sided deals. No more silent treatment. No more waiting for permission to rise. The world needs Africa's minerals. The world needs Africa's markets. The world needs Africa's people. But we have to stop chasing validation and start demanding respect. So here's my message to everyone watching: it's time to raise our voices. Let's support countries like Nigeria when they take a stand. Let's push our leaders to work together. And let's remind the world that Africa isn't just rising, Africa is ready. What do you think? Should more African countries back Nigeria's position? Can we finally build the united front we've been talking about for years? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, share it with your friends, and join the conversation. Thanks so much for watching. I'm glad you're here. Until next time, stay smart, stay proud, and stay loud.